Yo, welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Galar Cup and let's try out this team. So we're going to be using the Shadow Ninetales with the Diggersby, and looks like we are going to be trying out the Shadow Quagsire. Looks like the Diggersby is going to get met with a Mandibuzz, but we do have the Hyper Beam that goes off, so that's good damage right there. Our opponent now knows that we have Hyper Beam and they're just going to start throwing moves so that we don't get to that move. Here we gotta probably let this go. It's only going to be the aerial A's, so this is going to get the shield or it's going to get the KO from this range. Let's see what our opponent ends up doing. They decided to let it go, so we are going to be able to win that switch. We get our move sniped, so nice timing by them, and now we have the Quagsire onto their Drapion, so this is a great matchup for us. They go for the Aqua Tail. We're going to make sure we throw this Aqua Tail here on good timing. This is going to grab that shield, so that's interesting. Our opponent here is showing that they don't want to see this Quagsire. What do they have in the bag that they don't want to see this Quagsire? We're going to fire off this Aqua Tail here. The Aqua Tail does go for that last shield, and now we see the Gastrodon. Gastrodon here is going to be able to fire off a move. We're going to shield here just to keep the health of the Ninetales. And we're going to fire out this Weather Ball. It does 20% right here. Let's see if this additional Weather Ball takes it out. It does take it out. So 2 Weather Balls takes it out quite nicely. We force out some energy from this Drapion. It is going to go for the Aqua Tail. It does take us out, but ensuing Mud Shot does go through to take out their Drapion. So GG Star opponent able to win that game. Getting that Drapion low enough so that we can farm down for the win and pressuring them to use some energy against our Alolan Ninetales. Okay, so we got the Ninetales protecting the Quagsire weakness of Grass types. That's the core, and the Diggersby is kind of just a generalist. So they switch out into this Diggersby. We're going to use this Weather Ball, chip away, and then go into our own Diggersby here. Both of us are just using these tanks. They're going to fire off a Scorching Sand. We do avoid the debuff, so that's good news. We're going to fire off this Scorching Sand immediately because we don't think it KOs, and we can get it farmed out, okay? So it doesn't quite get the KO, but it just looks like we can farm it down easily. Scorching Sand gets revealed again. We avoid the debuff, so that's really good news. We have a little bit of energy advantage. We're going to fire out this Hyper Beam here. Most likely going to get let go. There it is. So now they know, but we deal a good chunk of damage. Dark Pulse does get revealed. We're going to switch out into this Ninetales to not allow them to farm. We do get met with the Gastrodon. So this Gastrodon here has to deal with the Ninetales with some energy advantage. We know that they're going to throw a move here. So we're going to shield once, and then we're going to fire off our own Weather Ball. This is not going to KO, I don't think, but it will potentially get a shield or get it low enough for a farm down. Our opponent does realize that, so they end up shielding. They go for the Body Slam. We're going to allow them to switch out. They try to catch the move. We're going to fire out this Stone Edge immediately. It's a 50-50 call. Okay, we do let it, they do let it go through, and now it's the farm down opportunity. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with our Shadow Quagsire at the end, taking out the Mandibuzz, farming down the Gastrodon, which was key. And I think it was mainly because we were able to switch out of some situations where we didn't allow the farm down, and we just got that extra energy advantage for the win. Here we go. We got the Ninetales versus the Quagsire. Our opponent here is going to stay in for now. We're going to fire out this Weather Ball. This Weather Ball here does go through and try to catch a move, but it looks like they were waiting for us. They are going to be revealing Aqua Tail. So Aqua Tail onto the Quagsire. They're going to throw another move here, interesting enough. We're going to allow it to go through. Let's see. Okay, they don't switch out at all. So we're going to fire out this Aqua Tail. Doesn't quite KO. That is bad. We're going to shield here because we feel like they don't want to see this Quagsire in the back. And that's indeed the case. They come in with their Charge Bug, which is interesting. We're going to go into the Diggersby here, anticipating maybe some kind of flyer or something. I'm not exactly sure. So it looks like they are going to be throwing these X Scissors. Interesting that they're staying in. Now we have our suspicions up. Our opponent here tanks the Scorching Sand, and then they're going to fire off another X Scissor here. So we're going to see if we're going to get a potential farm down at this point. Exorcism does get let go. Oh, wow. They actually had a fire type in the back. We were anticipating a flyer, not a fire. So that was just a blind read. And we were hoping that the Ninetales obviously would win us the game. But unfortunately, you can see why they didn't want to switch out, and he couldn't get that win. Okay, we got the Fire Punch and Diggersby revealed. Looks like they are gonna stay in for a little bit, and then we're gonna try to catch a move. Fire Punch does get used onto our Diggersby. That's fine. They switch out into the Air Slash and Mandibuzz. Interesting enough. Air Slash Mandibuzz is gonna fire up a Dark Pulse. We can tank that, but we're gonna fire up our own Hyper Beam here. Most likely gonna get let go. Okay, perfect. So now we see some good damage. We're gonna have to tank this move here. Ends up being the Dark Pulse, which is fine. We're gonna fire off a Hyper Beam. This is gonna get the shield, or it's gonna get the KO. Our opponent does elect to let it go, and then we see the nice switch out immediately. They do catch the Weather Ball onto your Weezing, but because we have that good energy advantage, we're gonna be able to get to another Weather Ball here. It's gonna grab one shield, and they do get the farm down. That's fine. We're going to wait out the clock and then go into the Quagsire. And we have some shields to use, so we might as well use it here. Brutal Swing does get revealed. We're going to fire out Aqua Tail immediately. This is going to get the shield, or it's going to get the KO. They decided to let it go, and now we know that we're going to be able to win this game. Just shielding here, no matter what. Play Rub does get revealed, but it's fine because we are able to farm down with the Mud Shot. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game. I think mainly because the Diggersby had Hyper Beam, and we were able to do a significant amount of damage to their Mandibuzz. Alright, we got a terrible lead. We're going to switch out into the Diggersby, and this is where Hyper Beam Diggersby is just unfortunate. We get hard walls here by this Gripplum. We don't really have any good moves, so we're just going to try to waste time and use a bunch of Scorching Sands. Maybe we get a debuff at some point. We do get the debuff right here, and that's going to help us survive this icy wind. Now the question is, do we want to switch out? We decided to switch out here. Our opponent does elect to stay in and throw a move. Mystical Fire does get revealed to deal some good damage. We are going to be able to survive it, but it was super effective, taking a chunk away. We see the Mawile here. Mawile is going to tank these moves really easily, and we are going to get the farm down. So a little bit unfortunate. We do have a move on the Diggersby, but unfortunately they win the CFP tie. Our opponent here does elect to go for a move. We do shield the correct player up, and let's see if we can win this game with the Quagsire in here. We know that still meant Dripplum. We're going to fire off this Aqua Tail right before they get to their move. They decided to let it go. Okay. Oh, wow. It ends up being the Golisopod. Golisopod here is going to be able to spam a bunch of moves. We're going to go for a Stone Edge Hail Mary, but they are able to shield it. So GG's to our opponent, unable to win that game. Check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.